Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I am cruising in the Neon Gladiator today, naked. I got no doors, no top, so hopefully you can hear me all right. Got a little something different for you guys today. First off, I'm going to talk about 3 things I hate about the Jeep Wrangler 392. I know I've been raving about it, and the thing is pretty amazing, but there are 3 things that really bugged me about it right off the bat. So I'll discuss that here in just a little bit, but what we're doing today is we are on our way down to Iron Gate Motor Condos in Naperville, Illinois, where they are doing their monthly Chrome and Coffee event. If you're not familiar with Iron Gate Motor Condos, it is a very cool place. Essentially, think of it as a country club for car guys. Basically, you can buy your own car condo in there and design it to be your dream man cave and a place to store your vehicles. But also, they've built a community around this whole place that does events, not just Chrome and Coffees, but everything is based around and built around charity and giving back. So really cool place, a great group of people down here that they put on some nice car shows, and I'm hoping to be able to give you guys a little sneak peek into some of these guys' dream garages and show you some of the cars, because there are some crazy exotics down here as well. So I'm pulling down there. We got the 392. Kim's coming. She's a little behind me, but she's on her way in the Mojito Jeep. So it's gonna be a fun day. Stay tuned. We're gonna get to a lot today. Besides having the personal car condo spaces, Iron Gate also offers automotive retail spaces that feature detailing, customization, and maintenance and repair shops on site. Alright, so we are winding down an amazing day out here at Iron Gate Motor Condos. Some really killer cars. We got to see, actually one of my favorite things here at Iron Gate Motor Condos, you come for the cars, but really what I enjoy most is getting to see how each person individually designs and sets up their car condo space, because everyone is different. They're completely unique, and I didn't even get a chance to like scratch the surface of some of the cooler ones that are in here, how they laid them out. Actually, this one here right behind me, it's got a really cool feature with this peak, and they got balconies and patios, everything. So this whole place is awesome. So many different cool units, so many different cool cars every time you come out. And we finally looked out and had a beautiful day, because it seems like every time they have one, it seems to rain or it's cold. So we really lucked out, turned out awesome. But let's jump into what you guys are here for. Let's talk a little bit about the 392 Wrangler and the 3 things that I hated about the Wrangler from day one. So what we've been saying about this Wrangler 392 since the day we got it pretty much is that it doesn't know what it wants to be. The Wrangler 392 with the V8 Hemi 6.4 liter, it's just got so much power, and it's so quick. As you saw, we ran 12s in it completely stock at the quarter mile, but it's still a Jeep. So you've got this Hemi power that belongs in a Challenger or a sports car, but the characteristics of the overall Jeep just aren't fitting to it. So right off the bat, we knew the Wrangler 392, the way it came from the factory, completely stock with a 2-inch lift, but they left the same 33-inch tall tires on it that came stock on a regular Rubicon. It just didn't fit. It looked like the Wrangler 392 skipped leg day at the gym, and you had all this wheel gap that just didn't look right. And as you can see, on our Mojito Jeep, we bolted up a set of 35-inch tires without a lift. So, you go and you throw a 2-inch lift on the Wrangler 392, but don't do anything about the tire size, it just looks goofy. It just didn't look right from the factory. Obviously, we bought this thing knowing it was gonna get bigger tires right off the bat. So the very first thing we did to fix that look was mount up a set of 37-inch Nitto tires on the factory wheels, because we are trying to preserve everything about the 392 aesthetically as possible. So the, you know, the gold badges, you know, the gold Rubicon on the hood, the 392, the gold Fox shocks, and the bronze wheels that came factory. So we're trying to keep that look. So we slapped the 37-inch Nitto ridge grapplers on there right off the bat to take care of that look. Now, the second issue we had with the Wrangler 392 was they give you all this power and this thing gets up and goes, and you know, it's flying. I mean, you go on the highway, you're surprising people when you get up and go. They're not expecting to hear that rumble from a V8 and a Jeep, but it did not have the braking power to match. And what I've noticed is, you know, if you get the Durango SRT, the Cherokee SRT, what do? They give them the big red Brembo brakes on the SRT packages. For some reason, Mopar decided not to follow suit with the Wrangler 392, which I think was a big mistake, because you've got this big heavy box on wheels and all this power, and they didn't give you the braking power to match. So again, this thing just felt like it doesn't know what it wants to be, because it wants to be a sports car with the motor, but it couldn't brake or handle to match. So you probably saw it in one of our previous videos, but we added the APB big brake kit to the front. If you can see those here, the big brake kit on the front. Well, just last night we got the rears, because they finally came out with the rears from APB. These are larger brake kit than stock, and they got the 4-piston calipers front and rear, and they make a major difference. I'll put a little clip in here from when we did the test with just the front brakes, but it's even better with the rears. So as soon as we get these broken in, we're gonna try and do some of our there's a party going on down here. Yeah, our non-scientific brake test, but we'll try to get to that as soon as possible when we get the rears broken in a little bit. But major difference, like night and day with driving this thing, how much better these brakes are, and then the look with the bigger tires. And then the biggest thing that we noticed was that the handling, the suspension was just way too sloppy, and the handling on the Wrangler 392 just was not up to par. Like I've been saying, did not cut it for how fast this thing is. Again, I keep going back to the on-ramps where you're getting on and you feel like the Wrangler is just gonna like lose control off the side of the on-ramp. So what we did to solve that was we added this Clayton off-road lift kit, which comes with dual rate springs, and immediately the first thing we noticed pulling out of our driveway with this lift kit is the handling is just so much tighter. I mean, it just seems to be like, it doesn't get so sloppy and floaty. It keeps everything nice and tight. And now with this whole package, the Wrangler 392 seems to be the way that it should have come from the factory. You know, you're paying 80 grand for a Jeep, and they did not match the suspension and the handling and the braking to the performance of this amazing motor that they threw in this thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I would still buy the Wrangler 392 again in a heartbeat. It's definitely worth the money, but these are just a few simple things I think that Jeep could have and should have addressed. They definitely should have done a little better spring. You know, that's pretty much all they did to lift it up to give you the 2 inches. They should have put a little stiffer spring in that kind of matched the feel of having a V8 Wrangler. And they also should have given us some better brakes like they put on their other models of SRT with the V8. Definitely should have thrown on some Brembos or something like that, but these APB brakes really fixed the braking power of it. And obviously the 37s tires are going to get changed anyways on Jeeps, so it's not a big deal that they only stuck with 33s, and I'm sure it was for fuel economy, things like that. But definitely overall improvement, and now this thing is riding and driving the way it should have from the factory. So that's going to wrap things up for my 3 things I hate about the Wrangler 392. For those of you that have not been following along on the channel as far as what we have done to the Wrangler 392, I was just going to point out a few things we've done. We did add the Diodynamics tinted side markers, little subtle thing, but I think it looks so much better than the amber. We did have to go with a set of TerraFlex 1.75 inch wheel spacers in order to clear the APB brakes with the stock factory 392 wheels. Obviously we've tinted the windows. Everybody tints the windows. Last thing we did most recently was add the Rusty's off-road tire carrier in order to be able to mount the 37-inch tire on the, the back of the tailgate here. It's the same one we did on the Mojito Jeep. It's been a great tire carrier, and it will fit up to a 40-inch tire. So gives us the opportunity to go bigger in the future if we want. But for now, I think that's gonna wrap up our video here at Iron Gate Motor Condos. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, drop them in the comments below. I always try to answer everybody. And make sure you're following us on Shocker Racing Garage. I'll put that down here on Instagram. We did just change the name from Neon Gladiator over to Shocker Racing Garage to kind of better incorporate all our videos and all of our content. So follow us out there, and we will see you on the next video.